Live. I need to figure out how to do any of this. Hi. No clue how to do this. Guess we're live. Let me know if it's too windy. So, running this at local spot. So, get the truck out, do some runs. Super windy today. Also, have the camera mount or phone mount on my remote now. Try to get this. All right, so one person in here so far. Don't know if I can actually see your comments or not. Trying to figure this out. Backpack out of here. All right, someone else is in here. First time doing live, don't know how this is working, but super windy. All right, is anyone gonna come out, hang out? What's up, dude? Awesome. Oh yeah. Yeah, first live, super nervous about everything working. Trying the mic set up, wireless, and doing this from my phone, trying to see how it works. So, my idea was to kind of crawl around, have a phone mount on my remote now, so I can try to get this. Awesome. Happy that the stream quality is going well. But yeah, up here, let me know if you guys rather just go inside and we can nerd out about my truck while I do stuff, or also just different settings and my thoughts on stuff. Flip it around. But yeah, don't really have anything to talk about today. Just figured it'd be fun to finally get out for a live three-wheeling. It's crazy windy today. Maryland weather is, the high today is 60 at, yeah, so there's like no bed on this. There's just the hinge mount on the rear, and I just don't have like the, essentially like the triangle frame on it, because I just want it to kind of look like a normal pickup. So I have the FureTech Python Pro with a cedar motor. So it's their like torpedo combo. It's on sale right now. I just bought one for my son for Christmas, and he has no idea. So it's on sale at was it Healy Direct? It is 30% off. So that's even a better sale than when I bought mine. I'm gonna try to make sure to see all the comments. I have to watch the screen to see them pop up, and they only stay up for like 5 seconds maybe. Also, we can go to, how can I transfer this? Go down to here. So when I first got into this, I thought this climb was impossible. And now it's just kind of like the standard. So the cage on like this truck is just all what comes when you buy this truck. So, or sorry, when you buy this body from Endura, it has like a little X piece right here that goes over. I didn't want it. I wanted it to just look like a pickup. But when you order this from Endura directly, this is what you get. Like, yeah. So yeah. Let me know if you guys want to see a specific spot or something, challenge, just hanging out. But yeah, once again, this bed comes with this body. You can buy or download like 3D printed options for this cab, but this is not a 3D printed one. This is the Endura IR40 body, and this is the rear half that comes with it. Yeah, I'm so stoked that we have this spot. It did not used to look like this. They redid it a couple years ago now, like before I even got into running RCs, and super thankful for this. In the summertime, it's like impossible because everything grows up and like you cannot even see over there at all. I don't know if there's any super swappers in 23, or sorry, 63. I really like how they look. I think Endura only makes them in like 62 or 64 or something. But yeah, I pretty much just run the J Concepts. Like I have some Trio wheels with Enduras. Heck yeah, get them all running. This is still my one and only truck. It's basically been set up as this IR40 for, I don't know, maybe 7 months now. Yeah, 56 size. I really like how Swampers look. I wish that J Concepts would do some like it, but also I'm really happy with how the Bossmans look now. But I'll eventually start running them again. May have to throttle out of this. So yeah. Also, I'm a little bit sick, so don't mind me snorting my nose. All right. Take you guys and show you. So I had the Endura Mavic tires, and the line I'm about to do, they were by far, they were the first Endura tires to make it up this. So like, see the lines on the building? So like this rock gets to like almost 60 degrees, but the Maverick tires did really well for me at first, and then all of a sudden they just all of a sudden they just like slowly stopped working. Like I walked up this just like I did with these landmine tires, and then I did the New York trip. I don't know if like the only thing I think of is like something at the waterfalls, like in the water, might have gotten on them, but they just continuously got worse and worse, and like I don't understand why. And then now this is super fun. So just walked up that spot. Also, I'm stoked because I'm driving one-handed, and it's the first time I've done this rock like that. Let's see if I can transfer over. So this line or spot is not in any video yet. Trying to keep eye on chat and drive at the same time. Okay. But yeah, the Enduro Maverick tires were amazing at first, and then for some reason, oh no, we're losing it. Then for some reason they just gave up the ghost. So yeah, made that from there, walked it. That is not in any video. So let's go over here. But then back to the Swampers. Let's see. I've had bad luck. My son has the like version 2 of the brushed ESC, and I don't necessarily know how my thoughts are on that versus just like the stock Traxxas ESC. It almost feels like the same, but you can use aftermarket remote, which is super helpful since his hands are so tiny. But honestly, I would say FureTech all the way. Like, it's what I've had for about a year now. I just bought the same setup because it was on sale for my son, and super stoked for it. I'm not going to put the brushless motor in his setup at first because I want him to learn and like understand upgrades and like be able to tell the difference. But going from the Endura ESC to the FureTech, even with the Holmes Hobby 66 turn motor, is going to be a giant upgrade to him, and I'm stoked to have him try it and see. Did it. Flip it around. But yeah, like, I actually looking up, trying to get him a good deal on a FureTech ESC, found this where like the Python or the Torpedo setup with the Python Pro is even cheaper with the Cedar motor than just buying the Python Pro ESC alone. So it was a no-brainer. Trying to not break an ankle on these rocks. But yeah, I felt like it was a no-brainer to get that set up, and it has something sharp in my shoe. Okay. So yeah, he will have that for Christmas. Try to run all these lines for the heck of it. And then yeah, I have 2 more videos that I still need to film. I haven't filmed yet. One is talking about my remote. If you guys have watched any of my last videos, I feel super terrible for saying bad things about my NSD-RC servo, because even though the first one I ended up having issues with, because I did try a couple remotes with that one too, this one seems to just be my remote, and I figured that out. I fixed my remote. I'm gonna go make a video of how I did. Like I said, it's super windy. I'm super sorry. We can go inside and hang out not in the wind. Or if you guys are enjoying me talking while driving. Try to keep my balance and drive. What was I gonna say? Yeah, so I fixed my GT5 without spending any money. I completely missed that comment and I don't know how to pull them up. Comment it again and I'll answer it because I'm looking now. But yeah, what was I talking about? Remote. Yeah, so video is coming. Enduro Swampers 63. Yeah, I would try them. I've only tried the Enduro Klingons, the Rock Terrain, and the Mavericks. I would, out of those 3, I like the Rock Terrains the most, but they're still a hair big. I would like something more towards like a 63, but like a small 63. I don't know. That's kind of a dumb statement, but like a 62, I guess, from Enduro, because even the Mavericks kind of measured roughly the same as the Rock Terrains to me. All the J Concepts. Yeah, so I don't know. I like the like a chunky look in theory, considering we're going off-road with these, but as you can see by these tires, they're super worn down on the sides. I really like broken in J Concept tires. These and my original Tusks are naturally broken in. The Boss Mans I boiled and sanded. Try to run this line backwards, at least to the top, because it just front flips now going down. But yeah, like I have, let's see, scale look, one size run. So I would, if you want 63, that's what these are. Really into the body. Can I fix this? Okay. So yeah, landmines don't necessarily look scale, at least not a tire that I know of. The Tusks are amazing. With how I have my suspension set up now, I want a little bit more slide. The Tusks just seem to like grip and hold in every which way direction, which is a good thing if that's what you want. But with having no springs and how I started to tune my shocks, it seems like there's a little bit too much lateral grip for me, at least. So, but the Boss Man tires, once I sanded them in, or sanded them and boiled them, boy, traction started picking up. I was surprised. I did not expect them to get that much better, just by doing that, honestly. because like tusks and landmines, tusks have always been like good, but the landmines had random, like the forward bite on them has always been like crazy, but it wasn't consistent. Yeah, so I would have to look, I think it was 440 grit maybe, and sanded them, and then they still had the like rubber whatever to like make them last longer, the rubber like stuff on them, or rubber sealer stuff. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but like you can see how they look a lot more like normal rubber than the shiny blackness when you get them. But I boiled them, not quite boiled, I think it was 140 or 150 or 140 or 160 degree water. Need this to settle. There we go. So I did that because I used to do that to, yeah, exactly what you just said. The residue from the molding. I figured it would just give them like a better shelf life until you're actually using them. But yeah, BMX grips, I used to do that back in the day to get them nice and tacky. So I did that with the Bossmans, and it definitely made a difference. At least I think so. I think sanding might have been a bigger difference than sanding might have been a bigger difference than boiling them. So this is a tricky spot. I have definitely never done this one-handed. Awesome. Sweet. Okay, man. Thank you for coming out and hanging out. And I'll see you guys, or I'll see you next time. Yeah, if you have any more questions, let me know, and I will be happy to answer them. Want to try to start doing lives like once a month. Could either do driving like this. Since it's getting colder, it will probably be hanging out somewhere and talking, but yeah. Let's get to another ruck, and let me know if you guys have any more questions. So, like I said, doing this on my phone, they just like disappear super quick, so I'm trying to pay attention to if they pop up. Realistically, probably gonna run this rock, and then we can maybe go walk around and find a spot to I don't know, go over my truck if you guys want. I absolutely love this line. It's all nice and twisted in here. And walks up. Yeah. These rocks too, luckily it rained last night. These rocks, for some reason, really like it when it rains. Not as much when it hasn't rained for a little while. Also, the second video that I need to make, I'm trying to get both of these out this week. First one is on my remote and how I fixed it for free. Posted on a Facebook group, and a couple people answered with a couple different ways of trying it. I said, I'm so over this remote, I'm going to try them all right now. And I did, and it worked. So it's been about a week, probably, I don't know, 5-6 hours of driving, and 5-6 hours of driving, and it works. So I'm stoked on that. But shadow, come on, flip around. So yeah, GT5, fixed it, make a video on that. And then I've done a couple different things to my truck to make steering, suspension, and I think something else work better on it. So I've only been testing and tuning that for like a few days and super happy with it. But yeah, let's walk over, and I'm gonna pack up my truck, and we can walk someplace and I can pull it back out and we can talk. But yeah, finally got I guess one of the main things is I got a rubber band on the front, and it is a huge difference. I just wanted it very minor. I didn't want something like super crazy. So that, luckily my son can't really read all the way yet, because if he reads the comments on this, he'll know everything that he's getting for Christmas. But yeah, I got him the Endura winch because he really, like, he's been saying that he's wanted a winch for such a long time now. So he has the Endura winch and a Furatech Python Pro ESC coming. So that's gonna be, whoa, dropping my phone. So yeah, super stoked for him to get that. I think that the ESC mainly is going to make such a huge difference for his driving because he's picking up really quick and really good at it. He has the need for speed, so I'm trying to get him out of that, which also my shock tune that I do on my Enduro ones, I just did to the stock Traxxas High Trail ones. I'm starting to think that the High Trail and the like Bronco Defender ones are two different lengths. I don't know if that's true, but I think the rods are different. So I'm gonna need to double check that fact. But yeah, I took out the second seal of his, so he has no fluid in his shocks anymore either, which I don't think is a bad thing. Our trucks are just so small. So I didn't order him the crane because, like, my son being young, he wants everything that he sees. So like on this IR40 and the IR60, the crane will work in the back, but he has my original Chevy body right now. Found out that the Ford High Trail body doesn't work as good being low trail. The steering horn really hits the clip. But both of those have like a full bed. So I'm trying to, also, let me know if you guys want to do like a backpack everyday carry for my truck, how that goes. Or I guess we could do it in this video if you guys want. Hold on, gotta put the phone down so I can get my backpack zipped up. So the crane. So okay, so the crane, his next body is gonna be an SUV because I hope I didn't leave anything. I think I'm too OCD for that. So I don't know how I'm gonna mount it. Okay, so we're doing an SUV body for his truck next. One of my friends gave me a Bronco body that he like hacked up and cut up. My son really liked it, but like instantly broke it just because it was so cut up. I'm stoked because I'm gonna get him another SUV body. It's either gonna be a Bronco or a Indra Cherokee, and if it's the Cherokee, we're gonna make it into like a Park Ranger truck because he's super stoked on Park Rangers right now. And then how I'm gonna mount the winch, I think I'm gonna use the holes and everything off of like the Indra rear shock mounts and figure out how to mount it on that. Essentially doing the SUV body to, I'm gonna walk to where I think would be a cool spot to hang out. I'm gonna try to mount it either on the rear shock mounts in the SUV body. He, for some reason, really wants a rear winch mount so he can help tow me up lines that I try to do. It's gonna make his truck not as capable. Also, I'm super sorry if this is like jiggling while I'm walking. If that's bothersome, I will walk slower. But, okay, super slow walking. Yeah, so he wants a rear winch, even though SUV is gonna make his truck a little bit less capable. I'm super happy with it and he doesn't really care. So he also wants rear steer in the future, and I have no idea how I'm gonna do all of this, but SUV hard body rear steer I think would be sweet. Yeah, SUV hard body. But another cool idea that I kind of had for figuring out how to mount the rear winch, but I don't know how it actually do traction wise, is take a rear plastic Traxxas housing and then where the threads are for like the bolt holding the upper suspension links, to grind that down so both sides are, or all 3 points are the same thickness. That's kind of confusing with me not having one to show you, but like where the threads are, how the plastic is a little bit thicker, I would grind that down so then I could put a servo mount on the rear axle housing. So in my head, I think it would work. I would have to use like a longer bolt and like a nut on the end, but that way the weight would be on the axle rather than the chassis. But also, if you're trying to like pull stuff with your rear axle, I feel like that would be way more likely to like make you break traction or like pull the rear of his truck like to the side or whatever. So I don't know if that would actually be worth it. And with me not knowing that, I haven't want to mess up axle housing to do that yet. So, yeah, I don't know. And I need to figure out how to like route the winch wire or cable so that like the winch won't just like keep coming unraveled, so it actually has like tension. So that's the idea. I personally really cannot wait for him to get the FureTech ESC. I think that's going to be a huge game changer to him. Are these doors going to be unlocked? So, what other questions do we have? I don't remember what other questions other than tires. Oh man, we're out of luck. Doors are locked. Maybe go over to picnic table. I don't know what a F is. Oh, yeah, FureTech Python Pro. That's my favorite ESC. It's not light. It's like 15 grams or something. But on the minis, like the mini, so the 2-in-1, I really wanted to try, but I would get the Unity one, and I don't like that the power cable is like fully plugged into it. On the other one that came out, the little one, the was it Outrunner, I don't like how you have to plug in the Bluetooth every time you want to do anything, which I hardly ever change the tune, but I don't want to lose it with it not being plugged in. And then the mini ESCs, from my understanding, is they run hot, and I don't want to have to deal with that. So let's see, we'll try one more spot. So like, I don't know how they are. I haven't tried any of these other than the Python Pro, but I got it on sale last year for like Black Friday time. Just ordered my son the same thing because it was on even a bigger sale. Yeah, I don't know. It's for sale for $105 from $150. So I couldn't pass that up for him. So the Python Pro, trying to block the wind from the mic. The Python Pro is normally 120 and the motor is 50. So yeah, it was a no-brainer to buy the whole kit for $105 to me. And I haven't tried, once again, any of like any other company ESCs. I just went for Python or the FureTech because getting into it, that's what I was kind of told was the best, and I want ease of use and like reliable. Just because if you guys have been with my channel, literally never know what I'm doing. Like always going here or there. We live in a school bus, so trying to travel, and I just need stuff reliable, or need to be able to go to a like hobby shop and pick something up that could make it work in theory, but also I'm such a preparer that I have tons of spare parts that I use already. Walking around school, everyone's looking at me talk to my phone. And then, I don't know, what I was going to bring up earlier, which I completely forgot, is I like the J Concept tires. So I run the Traxxas B-Block wheels with like the brass front rings, like all Traxxas, but then I got these 2mm thick crush washers off of Amazon that are M26 by 32s that like fit in the rings perfect. I do know 24 yet. Actually becoming pretty good friends with him, and yeah, I don't know, trying to go up it soon and hang out with him again and go drive his rocks, and I don't know, try to pick his mind on getting stickers and stuff made. But super cool dude. Super funny meeting people off the internet / sketchy considering I always have my son with me. But besides for today, let's see, get the mic back over here. But yeah, Trey's a super nice dude and super fun to hang out with him. Yeah, so he's posted, thought I saw a nickel on the ground or something. So went up and drove with him a couple times, and he posted a clip of my truck driving down the Drunken Frog. So that was when, like I said, my nose is runny today. I'm sorry, guys. So that was when I had brass rings in the rear too. I've lined them up since, so my truck does flip over forwards easier going downhill. But anyhow, apparently my truck was the first one to make it down the Drunken Frog, like safely, or like without flipping. So he filmed a clip of that, and the second time I went up, I filmed it because I didn't even film it the first time. I was just so focused on driving. Yeah, I don't know. Super nice dude. Super psyched to go back up and hang out with him again. He lives like a little bit over 2 hours from me, so it's definitely an all-day trip, or we are building our van into a camping van too for when we don't take the bus, so go up and camp up by him. Oh. Any other questions? This sun is driving me nuts. All right, let's start walking again. Yes, I use the stock Bronco chassis for the fact that I just really like it. Like, I have tried. Can I do this one-handed? There we go. Got it. Yeah, so I always think I forget things. I saw the stock chassis. It is what I like, and I personally like vertical shock mounts, because trying to make it like, essentially stock vehicles have C-channel chassis, but like on a lot of like real RCcrawler trucks that you see, they still have pretty vertical shock mounts, and I feel like there's a reason why they don't like lay it down like they do on like F1 cars or like any race cars. Like, I understand like there's so much that goes into geometry, but I don't know. I like it, and it's something different and unique. I personally like having a flat skid too. Walking upstairs if it's super shaky. I like having a flat skid because learning to kind of control it. So like, I run plastic skid mount, or trans mount, and plastic trans housing. So like, it slides well, but it also is kind of sticky. So like, doing any descent, like the driving at the beginning of this live, you can see that I'd bottom out and then like kind of shake, and it would catch and like slide down. So it keeps it nice and controlled. And yeah, like, I've tried other ones, some aftermarket ones with like angled skids, and most of them are carbon, and I just personally didn't really care for them. Not as in like a bad thing, I just prefer the stock one with a stock flat skid. So I think it would be super cool to get like aluminum, I don't know if it'd be like CNC'd or casted, custom chassis made one day, but that's a lot of work for being able to go to the hobby shop and find the stock chassis there. So I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me while I just walk around. Yeah, I don't know. It's definitely seems unique, and I don't know, like, there's so much research into making the chassis how they are from like Traxxas or even Axial, or if you go up to like 10th scale, Vanquish, like all of them have like great chassis, like the VS10, I don't know, whatever the Vanquish ones are, like I really like them, like the Fordyce ones. And they all run kind of like a lowered like C chassis, but then their shock mounts are like up higher, so I think it, however, like the rigidity of the weight on the chassis is, like it keeps it nice, lowered and stable. And like the Traxxas one isn't the same as that. Yeah, so like the first thing that I did was wheels. And like I think a bigger issue, what body are you running? The biggest issue to me is the friction in the shocks over shock angle. So like spring rate will make a difference. Yeah, so like I love the IR40 body. The only reason why I don't run stock rear shock tower mounts is because my truck was originally a high trail, so like the Chevy body that my son's running is originally my body, and then he had a Ford one, but my wheelbase is longer, so like I shortened up my front and I shortened up the lower suspension links, but I think it's like 160 millimeter length, I think. Like when it's like full drooped, like sat down, I think when you pull it up it's like 159 or something. But that's the only reason why I don't run the stock Bronco rear shock mounts, because I want the rear to sit a hair higher, and with the rear end being longer, like when you angle the shocks, like it brings the rear end up, and I personally don't like when trucks sit like nose up. Like cheetah rigs, it seems to be like a huge thing to do that, and it's cool. It's just not my personal taste. Like cheetah rigs are cool to watch and see what they are capable of. I just personally don't like doing that. I walked here, so my family's picking me up in a half an hour, so I keep checking my watch. But yeah, all these buildings I lose service in, which is why I tried the one specific spot and why we're just walking around now. But it's a Sunday, so not too surprised that all the doors are locked. I don't have a 1/10. Around here, like where I live right now, I don't see it really being kind of useful, because like any big rocks, like my last couple of videos up in Pennsylvania, like I don't have any rocks like that are that close. The rocks that are the beginning of this video that you guys see all the time, there's construction going on down there. I don't see it being practical to have one around here, and also my son really wants one, and we also honestly can't really afford it, and living in the bus we don't have super amount of space, but in the future it would be cool to have one. The Fordyce thus far would be the one that I would 100% get, and then I don't know what my son would probably want, the optic, H10 optic. You want to see more RC driving? Go back out front to the rocks. Yeah, so I don't have a 1/10 scale, and also getting so sidetracked. I typically always like just having like one of each specific item. So like, I think I'm the only biker that only likes having like one road bike, one BMX bike, don't care to ride anyone else's bike, RC truck. Like, I have the tow rig, which I drive sometimes. So, I'll get to that in a second. Yeah, I just don't really like having too many, because then like I get so indecisive about like what I want to pick up. Like, I just want to know, like, I have my 4M, like grab that and go. And even like driving with tent scales, like it's cool seeing that like even our 18ths to a certain degree can like drive some of the same big rocks. Oh man. Some of the same big rocks as like tent scales can. So it's super cool seeing that. The Red Cat Ascent, I really wanted to get, or I started to want to get the, they're like no bed, like just cab only like version of that, and like of the tent scale. I really wanted that, and then like more I like looked into it and more I started watching videos of it, like just like kind of the pet peeve of like tire rubbing on the fender and like having a Lexan body like kind of drew me away from that. So I decided to lean more towards the Vanquish. I don't know why I can't think of what it's called. Yeah, the Red Cat Fusion, or Ascent Fusion. But yeah, I don't know. I don't see myself getting a tent scale until we kind of have like property somewhere that has giant rocks. So we're like out somewhere with that more. But yeah, so for you just having, well, no, there's the Optic. The H10 Optic is like the buggy one that my son wants. And then I want the Fordyce one, which is VS, I don't know why I can't think of what it's called. Let's see. I have another rock that I didn't drive. What's I gonna say? I don't know. I don't remember what I was gonna say. I don't know what the Gold Rush is. I would have to look that up. So I ordered a Endura buggy, the Tarantula chassis for my son, like a long time ago. And I was putting it together and like a couple of the bolts like instantly stripped out. Like not the actual like bolts themselves, but like the plastic that you're mounting it into, like stripped out. And I was just like, with how he drives, it's gonna break instantly. So I'll look at that. We still have putting the camera. Okay. So yeah, that's why I don't know the Gold Rush. Let's move over here. What was I gonna say? Tarantula. I don't know. I ended up having it like sent back as like a warranty thing because Can I get the remote to sit and not flip? Alright, so I sent back the tarantula because I wasn't stoked on the durability of it for how my son would drive it. Oh, my son and I still run vertical servos, which is why I did not get the Muse one. I think the Muse one looks better than the tarantula, but I personally like, with the stock chassis as well, is you can't run a horizontal servo, which like doesn't really bother me. Turn my remote on. So it doesn't really bother me having a vertical servo. Get in here. All right, so we are just over, well, let me see if I can flip this around. That's not what I wanted. Oops, my bad, guys. New at this. So Python Pro, mini, receiver, the cedar motor, and then you guys probably cannot see it. Wait, right there you can. Behind the shocks, that's the rubber band. It's mounted. This is super blurry. I wrapped it around the shock, or the front shock. Why is it so blurry? Around the shock mount cross member and the rear bolt that holds the servo on. I got a much longer one, and that's what the rubber band's on, just in the center though. And I've been testing that for like a week now. I tried it with a much softer rubber band at first, and then once again, sorry for sniffling. Trying to get the phone out of my remote. There we go. Yeah, I'm super stoked on how the rubber band in the middle is. It's a hair tie one that my wife had from like when she was younger. And I'll show them when I make the video on how I actually have it a little bit more detailed. But cedar motor, PureTech does great. So I started back onto like motors from earlier. Let's see if I can do this without it rolling. So my son is going to have the Holmes Hobby 66 turn motor with the Python Pro. I want to see how that does. I remember seeing someone recommending that back when I bought this last year, and I don't know, super interested to see what that would be like, see how well it works, if it would work or whatnot. So it gets bottomed out there, back up slightly, driver, and we're going up. So, do one more rock and then I'm gonna head out. But yeah, like brush motor, not brush motor, I keep seeing, I don't know, like I see people saying like brushless is better, and like I have been running brushless for the last year, but I really want to try Python Pro with the 66 turn Holmes and see what it actually runs like. Falling on these rocks. So this one is a real pain to get up sometimes. But also, I haven't done it with the band, so maybe it'll be easier now. But yeah, I also, one thing that I am trying to do, so this is the hard part. Let's see if I can do it one-handed. Okay, whoa. All right, so that's a perfect example of why I like having a chassis nice and predictable. All right, so not pretty, but one-handed, and I made it. Yeah, the rubber band in the front has really helped that for not having shocks, and the tune that I'm doing, which I already forgot earlier, I would be interested to see what a 4M does with this shock tune and just wheels. Like, I would be, like, front weight bias would be something to add to, but I think the shock tune for lowering the friction in the shocks makes a huge difference. And for weight, I don't know if you can see it, the Trio front knuckles, but yeah, I don't know. Stoked I made up that one-handed. My hand's so big that I don't like having a the little like one-hand steer thing. This with a small handle fits perfect, but yeah. Thank you guys for checking out my first live. I'm stoked. I want to do more of these. Let me know if you guys like the driving in it, if you like me walking around in it, or if you'd rather me just sit at a table and we can just like nerd out about setups or something. And I could also have like my son's truck or the tow rig and what that is. So, which I do have a video on. But yeah, thank you guys for checking out this video, or coming for the live. I don't even know what I'm saying right now. I also feel like I'm gonna look like an idiot trying to turn this off because I don't know how to. But yeah, stoked you guys hung out with me for like an hour and 50 minutes. So I will get those videos made and I'll get those posted, and I will see you guys in the next one.